This is another Kindred video. Let's see what this is about. This is the actual story. Oh, actually, yeah. Pre-split Kindred. Smoke and Mirrors. Smoke and Mirrors, I think, is the story on the bio. The poet. Oh, this is okay. So this is the actress part. Okay. And after that, I don't know anything. Okay, cool. Let's go. Funniest thing is the format of this, because of how loud the music is and like the graphics and like the voice. If you ever watch a video on acid, that's kind of what it feels like. Like the music is just there and like the voices are kind of like cool, whatever, and you're just looking at the visuals and you're like, holy shit. That's pretty much what it feels like right now. I see why people complain about the music. Oh. Basically, what he's saying is that Kindred exists in the story of every nation. They just tell the story differently, I'm assuming. Like, because I read in the bio quickly where it says that, like, in Freylord, they only think about the wolves or something, or it's like when the wolf comes to get them, they're like thankful or some shit. But like in Demacia, it's more about the arrow from Kindred or something like that. But it's like, it's just different based on the region. Okay, fair enough. Nox only has the wolf, yeah. So it's like the story just differs in, like, it tells part of it, but for the most part, the essence of Kindred is always there. Just how it's told is different, kind of thing, right? Mm. Yeah, that's what I said. Like they only care about the arrow and the Demacia and stuff.
In the Freljord, warriors fight for their lives,
And they only care about
and
the wolf.
accept violent death in battles with wolf,
Yeah.
seeking to battle death itself, while children and weaklings will be claimed by the land. In
Mm-hmm.
Noxus, it's found that they lean towards wolf, or his viciousness represented by teeth and
Yeah.
claws.
Oh, never mind. Freylord has both of them. If you're a warrior, you get chased by the wolf, but if you're like a child or a weakling, the lamb kills you. Okay.
In Bilgewater, Lamb is seen as weak and cowardly, whilst Wolf is praised, and an entire festival is held around the Kindred to decide how Bilgewater will behave for the next year.
Hmm.
In Shurima, the Kindred are seen as elegant tusked gazelles partnered with speckled hyenas, and
Oh.
by Ionians as a snake and a sparrow. Some Ionians also imagine them as the Taken, represented as a little
Speck and a
girl
sparrow.
and a beastly companion.
Hmm.
Because of this, it means that it's hard to tell whether or not Kindred has a true form or not. In the story of A Good Death, however, it's hinted that Lamb and Wolf are their preferred forms, as Lamb explains that in the west I am Ina to his Arni, in the east Fire to his Wolra, but we are kindred everywhere. I am always Lamb to Wolf, and he is always Wolf to Lamb.
Hmm.
This hints that maybe kindred may appear under many forms, depending on who is looking at them, and that person's cultural understanding of death, but that is only the perception of the living. Kindred see themselves as lamb and wolf regardless.
Okay.
The story
Interesting.
Unfinished Soates is about the unfinished and final playwright written by the poet Soates on her deathbed. The play itself was called Lambs in the Orchard and was referenced as Soates' final gush of madness. Through unknown means, Soates had in her possession the masks of Lamb and Wolf.
Okay, so this is the story that was in the other video. So we pretty much know how that goes, but I want to see what the text is.
Burnt in forest under the tree, left to hunt.
Wolf licked the last drop of the youth's life from his canine jaws. I want to chase again, the lamb. There are always more, she whispered, until the day there's only kindred. And then will you run from me? The lamb turned back to the battle. I would never run from you, Judith.
I'm nowhere near talented enough to try and mimic the voices of these characters, but the dialogue on screen. Soates foresaw the end of kindred, when there was nothing left for Lamb and Wolf to hunt but each other. Look at these masks. I want you to pay
Interesting.
attention to the fact that there are 4 different masks here.
Yep.
Because we're going to come back to this once the foundation for understanding the importance of these masks can be set. For now, we just need to understand that there will be an end of the universe of Runeterra, and this will mean the death of kindred. But how can death die?
When it served its purpose, there's nothing else to kill.
Runeterra has seen many spirits, and amongst these lie gods. There are many types of spirit god throughout Runeterra, however, and they all have different rules and definitions of their existence. Spirit gods of the Freljord, such as Volibear, Orn, and Anivia, are old gods from before the Freljord was inhabited by mortals.
Was Anivia a spirit god? Oh, I guess she's she's a protector. I didn't know she was a spirit god.
And are well known throughout Runeterra's history. Known by many names, in the Serpent Isles lies Nagahevoros, the spirit god of the Buru. These are the spirit gods that existed long before the mortality of Runeterra, ancient beings of living history that breathe themselves in power and knowledge. There are, however, gods that were put there, spirits woven into the timeline by a macabre
Kind of similar to the other two masks, huh?
Condensation speaks of only two gods. The first wave, who cradles life in its warm waters, and the last wind, who snatches life with its final frigid sighs. A duality paired in the idea of life and death. The first and last wind seem almost related to kindred. A handful of Typhonian tribes speak of the astral fox, a god of death seen as a lone star in the night sky. As the legend goes, the fox descends upon the mountain with each death, and takes the soul to the skies to create its own dark constellation. A singular and much lonelier existence, the astral fox is yet another incarnation of death within terror. Within the clutches of the abyss, the shadow
Oh, Master Yi.
personal incarnation of death threads and weaves that fine art across the macabre canvas they are given. The soul spinner, a second heart into the actions of Vilemore, is known to be the representative form of death within the Shadow Isles. These entities know of each other, and in some cases even interact.
Like they all work together. They just have a different territory they're responsible for. They're like a Santa Claus, but he can't be everywhere at once. Such grace in the spider's dance and strength in its jaws, soul spinner. It is nothing to the elegance of the kindred's hunt.
Grace in the spider's dance.
And strength in its jaws. It is nothing to the elegance of the kindred's hunt.
Yet, there is something unmentioned so far
Hmm.
in the Shadow Isles. Kindred cannot go there.
Yeah, they're just like responsible for territories, and you don't go into others' territories, kind of thing.
When interacting with the blade of the ruined king, Lamb will say,
Forged in a land unwelcome to us.
a place where kindred are unwelcome, where they have not passed, the site of ruination and the culmination of Diego's madness have created the Shadow Isles, a place of surrender.
Oh, shit.
Yet, the kindred are unwelcome here. They may be free to pass through the spirit world, but it seems that the Shadow Isles are beyond them. People die in the Shadow Isles, though. Lots of people.
But they don't stay dead.
The Shadow Isles has its name God's Fire, the oft-forgotten Vilemore, a giant hideous creature of nightmare feasts on living sacrifices brought by its followers. But the Shadow Isles themselves are special. They are a place where Kindred cannot walk. Elise is constantly taking new victims back to the Shadow Isles as sacrifices for her god's fire hatred.
Yep.
So what happens to those people? How do they pass on with
Well, the way I see it, it's like when they die. So you like when Kindred kills somebody, their soul moves on, right? Stars, whatever, afterlife, who cares? But on the Isles, the souls are consumed and or. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the way I see it, it's like in the Shadow Isles, the souls are consumed. Therefore, there's Kindred's not welcome them because Kindred kills and transfers the souls to the next, like the next step in fucking regeneration, whatever. However they do souls in League, I don't know. But Shadow Isles consumes the souls, so it's a bit different. Also, undeath and all that stuff comes from there.
outside to the afterlife? The Soul Spinner is a representation of death within the Shadow Isles. They act to guide those who died within the Shadow Isles beyond the spirit world and serve the gods by the Vilemore.
Yeah, just it's like you're supposed to go this way, but in the Shadow Isles, it's like, nope, you're taking this turn. You're not going there.
The threads of the dead across a tapestry of woven time. Our unspoken death
Has its own system for the souls.
older than those who had claimed to be death itself. Within Rune Terror lies more than one form of death, more than one incarnation of the aspect of death itself. Death
Okay.
Last time we spoke about the one behind the curtain, the patron to the theatrical performance of death. The Masked Mother is a primordial
The Masked
being
Mother.
who accepted the notion of God's death into the minds of Runeterran people. Surrounded by mystery, we know nothing of the Masked Mother's past,
Why is there a
only
pig?
that they were responsible for the creation.
So that looks like probably one of the cutest pigs you've ever seen, except like you can't even see its features. It's just a blue pig.
The Masked Mother references and understands all forms of death that they have created.
Okay.
They recognize the forgotten icon, the Kindred, the first wave of the last wave, and the Soul Spinner. In turn, all these incarnations of death will recognize the Masked Mother, each expressing a form of gratitude, blame, or recognition for her responsibility in their existence.
It's like if you watch Supernatural, like the TV show, and there's this whole thing where they deal with the Grim Reaper, and the Reaper has like the agents Grim Reaper that work under him, and they each have a zone, like areas that they work in. This is pretty much it. So she's the massive, like she's the mother Grim Reaper, and everyone else just has their areas in the world that they're responsible for, and they can't go anywhere else.
But what if I told you that the Masked Mother is keeping Kindred alive deliberately, spreading their story by her own hand, as to keep the legend living onwards?
Could be.
Hidden within the artwork of Finishing So-8's story universe page lies the collection of 4 unique masks of death. The Vulture, Lamb, and Wolf lie amongst the already known.
Also, like when it comes to like the Masked Mother, it could also be like Kindred can be a part of her, right? A detached part that eventually she can just retract if she wants to, and that's how she spreads the story.
But the mask of the Masked Mother herself is also directly there. It matches the mask shown in the splash art and design concepts. The Masked Mother is the mysterious guest within the story of Finishing So-8's, the one responsible for the actors being possessed by the spirits of the masks and enacting the final moments of Kindred, resulting in the death of all 3 actors. The implications of this information are confusing.
Yeah,
If
just a bit.
anything, this actually just raises more questions than it helps to answer.
Not really. Like if you just think about Kindred, I mean, I think this covers a good chunk. Obviously, like the whole like cycle of death and souls and stuff like that is a more in-depth discussion. But as far as it concerns Kindred, I think it's fine.
Why is the Masked Mother there? Did she make her own mask? If not, who gave the Masked Mother her mask? Where do the elf-block trees used to make these masks grow?
See, these are all questions that you don't care about when you think about Kindred. These are like way beyond the scope of Kindred. So that's why like I don't care about that much. I just want to know about Kindred itself. Obviously, as far as like world building and stuff, you can really do like a massive deep dive into like the world of reincarnation, which can play into like how they do it in the MMORPG, where obviously you're gonna die, but like you're not really dead, so they can play into the whole death cycle as a player character as well later on in the game. But like right now, I would rather not delve into how the cycle of death and resurrection works, because usually there are too many holes in those stories and it just fucks up immersion. So I usually stay away from that.
Trying to understand about the Masked Mother, but now we need to discuss the realm of which she represents.
Yeah.
The realm of death itself in Runeterra.
The Shadowlands.
Death was its all who perished within Runeterra, though they are most at home in the spaces between the end of life and the afterlife, where they may serve as guides to the hereafter. This is why Kindred prefers to stay within the spirit realm and only tend to venture
Okay.
For many, the flow of air and water signify the inexorable movement of time and mortality. We have only two images of the realm of death, and I think
But then what came first? This is what I mean, like about the if you start thinking about these like reincarnation and death realms, too complicated and difficult to implement in a story. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you don't want to mess with like death, life, and time travel. It usually fucks up your story. Here's a good example. Right now, he's like, okay, so the death realm consists of people's imagination of what death is, something like that. That's basically what he said. What did people do before death? Did people just not die? How did death come to be? How did that realm manifest? Did people start believing in death for no reason other than to believe in death? Did people actually die? Well, how did they die if there was no death? Right? So it's like, why? Like, don't go there kind of thing, you know? It's like, was it just a blank white space or a blank black space? And then it's like, because people start dying, people start imagining what's there and then created it. You better not go there. It's too, like, leave that room for the imagination, you know? It's like, it's not that important.
it's really worth just showing these because this starts to add up quickly.
Yeah.
In the first image, we see a lonely spirit walking through the realm of death. Far in the distance, we see another figure walking through, again, alone. Notice the colors they've chosen here are a soft blend of light blue and white to depict the spirits.
Yeah.
Scattered around the roots of the forest lie skulls of all assortment of blown eyes. Faces
He says skulls. I actually thought these were masks. But okay.
carved into the trees screech in silence as wind blows with a gentle eeriness. In the second image,
I do love the ambient music in the background. Except it's not so much in the background, but...
we see a bird staring out across the stream of water running softly.
Bird. Penguins.
Photo reflection
Dude.
dead waters surrounded by yet more birds. And then, far out in the distance, stands the lonely silhouette of a pale man, the grey man, the lonely figure. The realm of death is as
More masks, by the way, or skulls.
a land forged by the perception of mortals may constantly shift and turn with the tide of consciousness. Our newest champion, Mila, the Joy Unbound,
Oh god, how did this jump to her?
is knowledgeable about many things. One of these
Is
things
she?
happens to be an interaction with Kindred that reveals and confirms some of the more mysterious lore surrounding them.
Interesting.
Encountering Kindred, Neela has this to say.
Strange. I feel a third presence. Something far older.
This is a
Oh.
reference to the vulture, the
This is the pre-split kindred, like the third person or whatever.
or the second death. Of all the marks,
Makes remember the City of Tears OST from Hollow Knight. I haven't played Hollow Knight. I know I should. I heard it's a fantastic game, but something about 2D games since Mario has been just like off for me. But I should play it. I heard it's actually a really hard game. This is the vulture, yeah.
is the first and the empathy is the last. A duality in and as of itself that manages the masks of death throughout terror. While the masked mother creates stories of new representations of death, the Epiphiend is there to collect those who have been forgotten through the passage of time. Who could forget their own god of death, other than those cursed with immortality?
Who is this though? What's this dude over here? You can't see it. One sec. Okay. Who is this guy? What's this?
And what kind of fear can a god of death have, other than being forgotten? This is the description of the fading icon, a key component in understanding the cycle of death. The fading icon, was once known
Oh, well.
as Shuriman.
Now we're gonna talk about him. The one he's hunting. Yeah, I mean, I guess the one that the vulture is hunting, but it's like, let's be real, bro. Let's be real for a second, okay? This, where is it? You are not hiding from anyone when you have so much light around you, okay? There's no way this vulture cannot see you. It's like you're not hiding from shit.
This is the descendant
Alright.
to the Shuriman Bakai and was conceived to be their god of death. However, the Bakai are no longer around, and the fading icon is cursed with immortality.
Hmm.
The fading icon began to get their own name until eventually
Interesting.
in an almost cruel fashion,
Interesting.
Canon will begin to explain to Wolf that the fading icon is still being hunted by the apathy for being forgotten.
By the
Being
vulture.
the real threat to Kindred, the looming shadow over their hunter duality that hopes to envelop their story in nothingness. They are the inherent end to Kindred, and truly deserve the title of Second Death. Death within Runeterra is a wider cycle than mortality of the physical realm. Kindred perhaps mocks Narcissus because they have the knowledge of this cycle, the understanding that all things die, even the incarnations of death.
The cycle begins anew.
He thinks he understands.
Kindred are a duality, originally known as the
I'm assuming those are like in-game interactions, like when Nasus meets Kindred for the first time or something like that, or when he dies or some shit.
They found themselves in the presence of the Mask Mother during an event they refer to as the beginning. The Mask Mother found the Pale Man and gave them the masks of Lamb and Wolf, so that they may hunt eternally throughout Runeterra as a duality. But Kindred represents a larger mystery. They are the most widely known god of death, but they are by no means the first or the last. Upon the day that Kindred are forgotten, they will enact one final hunt. The
Themselves, right?
lands in the orchard made it clear as day. Lamb and Wolf will hunt each other.
Yeah.
Kindred are aware of the existence of the apathy. They understand what will happen should the mortals forget their namesake. Those who lose their name lose themselves and are no longer hunted by death, but by the apathy. Kindred will one day be forgotten, and they too will find themselves in the position of the fading icon. Luckily, neither Lamb nor Wolf will be alone, and when the time comes and all things end, they will dance one final time to the end of their hunt. I think the kid
It's the one after Nasus revives after being killed. Oh. Yeah, would make sense. And it's like the whole map hears it, or?
Kindred are something special, lore-wise, and despite the fact that this has been by far the hardest video to try to collaborate all the information for, it's been well worth it to finally understand just a bit more about the Eternal Hunters. So there we have it.
And it's still a bit confusing, but yeah. How would Kindred be forgotten? If Kindred is forgotten, it moves on to like the guy above them, which is the vulture, I guess. I don't know if the vulture is actually above them, but like it feels like, based on like the faded icon, or whatever they talk about here, because they can't hunt him. Only because the vulture is hunting him. So is the vulture above them in authority, or is it more like respecting each other's boundaries kind of thing?
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing if you're interested.
I'm trying to make sense of this with my mortal mind. Come on, man. It doesn't have to make sense.
Twitch, and you can find the links down below. Take care.
Bad at this game. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Let's see what he's saying. There's still a lot.
Don't do it. Okay, but how is Mordecai not dead? You can't expect me to believe this because he's never heard of death.
No, isn't he just like super angry so he stayed alive? Isn't he the one, like, based on what Necrit said, isn't Mord the one who created Noxus, but he was too angry to die, so he became a spirit? Sound like that. Alright, cool. So that's, yeah, extra Kindred stuff. That's pretty cool. That makes a lot more sense than the story the other guy told me about some drama act. But yeah, here's what it is. Anyways, we'll go on to the next one then.